Hey YouTube, you have Leonard here. Green guys and gals, Kanojo Okirishimasu, Rent a Girlfriend, we're here, we're live, chapter 247, the review portion. So, producer everybody, as you guys know, live reaction over on the Twitch side, link in the search box down below, check that out. This was a massive chapter. People were telling me that at the end of the day, this was going to be potentially like very interesting chapter. Like there were going to be some stuff going down. I didn't expect this. I thought what we were going to be getting is the stuff of like Chizuru's mother, etc. And then this just went above and beyond. So before I get to the ending part of this chapter, which has me mind blown, we gotta start at the beginning. We gotta start at the beginning stuff, specifically with regards to Chizuru and her mother. So let's get into this. Recalling my thoughts. I thought it was really good the fact that again we see Kazuya looking at the photo and we have kind of two sides to Chizuru's reaction. The first one kind of gives us, for me, a very stereotypical but common Chizuru, where she's just kind of like, she brushes it off. She's like, oh yeah, it's a photo of my mother, whatever, and she kind of goes about her business. Because the Chizuru that we know, of course, she doesn't want to confront her emotions necessarily around other people. Even for herself sometimes it's a struggle. But we know that Chizuru is somebody who doesn't want to necessarily rely on people, and when it comes to the subject of her family, it's a very sensitive topic because, as I said in my live reaction, we have to remember how painful it probably is for Chizuru. She's the only person left in her family. Don't know about anyone else outside of like their immediate family and stuff, but as far as we know, Chizuru is the only person in her family, to her knowledge anyway. And that is rough. That is really, really rough. And even Kazuya says like, well, this seems kind of normal for Chizuru. Like, this didn't even faze her. But then after, I like the fact that we get in this chapter at a later time now, he sees Chizuru sitting there reflecting on the picture. And Chizuru says something, honestly, that was really, in my opinion, really impactful. It was this whole idea about the photo and this whole thing about a mother. So she says here specifically, when she talks about her mother, she says, if there's anything I learned from my mom, it's to take pictures of your children. The only thing, really. It's sad because the picture that she currently has of her mother, we don't know when this was taken, but it might have been taken before Chizuru was even alive. And she doesn't have anything to really commemorate, or I guess to show that her and her mother were together. All she knows is that her mother died at a certain age, and Chizuru feels regret over that. She even highlights the fact that she says that, what does she say here? Give me 1 second. Yes, she makes a line basically about the fact that when it comes to like a mother, how interesting the fact that her mother is someone that she hasn't met before, someone she doesn't know, is basically a complete stranger. But just knowing the fact that this is her mother, it makes Chizuru hold on to that photo, want to wonder, and she feels that regret. So I think for me, it was a really nice part of the chapter that it showed kind of like those two sides of Chizuru, the cold, it doesn't matter, I'm fine. But then we kind of get the reveal again that Chizuru is just a person. Chizuru, while she has like a very mature persona, things do bother her, things do get to her, and it's so nice we got to see her thoughts. Middle portion, let's get to Kazuya. Kazuya in this chapter, finally for the first time in a long time, minus one little portion, was actually perfectly fine throughout this chapter. We didn't get a lot of like random shenanigans with Kazuya. It was actually like really nice. You had the one moment we see him about like kissing her, and that's just Kazuya. But he's genuinely thinking about how is she feeling? Like, how can I help Chizuru? Am I not the one who's right to be beside her? He feels pain. He's just like, no. How can I think that this doesn't bother her? At the end of the day, Chizuru is a person. Chizuru is someone who has to have mixed feelings about all of this, and he realizes that she's someone who really needs to be comforted. Now, the issue for Kazuya is the fact that it's such a huge hurdle for him to actually... he wants to put his arm around Chizuru, and like, I'm just like, you can't do it. I would love if you did it, but I don't think you can, and I don't necessarily think you have to. But it just goes to show that Kazuya really is thinking about Chizuru. There is a side of it where it's just like, he wants to be with her, he wants to be the one, but he genuinely is concerned about her, which I really like that portion of the chapter. But now everyone, we're going to focus very quickly on the ending. The ending of this chapter, if you gave me 20 guesses. Let's call it 20. I could not have assumed what was going to go down in the end of this chapter. This was honestly really, really good. So you have an earthquake. I'm just like, wait, an actual earthquake? And then it's like Japan. So I'm like, okay, this actually makes sense. An earthquake. I was a little bit confused. And then afterwards, I'm seeing the book falling. I'm just like, oh no, is like Chizuru going to get hurt? Then I was like, wait, did Kazuya get hurt? He falls over, and we get one of the most cliche things that, of course, we know we can get in anime and manga: the falling over incidental kiss. We get a moi. So immediately, I'm just like, oh my gosh, they kiss. Then afterwards, I'm just like, no, she's covering him. They didn't kiss. But now I was like, no, wait, I think they did kiss. My final verdict, as I'm kind of looking at the chapter right now, I'm just looking at the images. It does not look like they kissed. They came very, very close, but they did not kiss. It looks like the hands of Chizuru kind of covered him. Is that her hand? Yeah. The more I look at this right now, she definitely, like, her hands were able to cover underneath. So the kiss did not happen. But they're very, very close, and this was interesting to say the least. Now, on top of that, Kazuya, as he probably should in this situation, he's apologizing. He's just like, oh my gosh, I shouldn't, oh no, I'm in trouble. I'm in massive trouble. Kazuya, you cannot be blamed. Kazuya, this is a complete accident. This is not your fault whatsoever. You did not try to kiss her. So I think Kazuya handles appropriately. He's just like, hey, I apologize. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. And I'm like, okay, we're done here. Accidental kiss. We're going to have some dumb cliffhanger of like Chizuru embarrassed and just something like that. Or she's going to like have her eyes turn. It's going to be suggestive. I'm going to be like, oh, till next week. This did not disappoint. This was the moment I think everyone, all of you guys are telling me about. She calls over and she's like, wait, mate. She pulls by his shirt. She pulls Kazuya in. And then we get a full panel. I'm looking right now. She's just like, mate, wait. And I'm like, what is happening? Now, if you guys saw my reaction at this point, you know that basically I went crazy and I left my seat because I couldn't comprehend what was happening. But we get that scene where you have Chizuru just looking directly at Kazuya intently after she has said mate 2 times. Wait. She looks at him and Kazuya's just like, huh? And I'm like, huh? And everyone's like, huh? And even the mangaka, they just like, wait, time out, what? This was amazing. This was honestly such an interesting chapter, and it had a little bit of everything. I wasn't annoyed with Kazuya. I was actually very happy with everything Kazuya did this chapter for the most part. I love the Chizuru development that we end up getting here as well, and getting some insight into her, how she feels about her mother, or the fact that she doesn't even know or remember her mother, which is, again, it's sad. And then, of course, we have the massive, crazy cliffhanger of Chizuru pulling him in and saying, wait, really make it seem like she's going to kiss him. She's not going to kiss him. But something's going to happen here. The next chapter is entitled Next Time, What a Day. I do not think anything is going to happen. But if Kazuya at this point doesn't realize, like, something's going to happen here, maybe it's not going to be a kiss or anything. They're not going to do it either. But something's going to happen to her. Kazuya's going to be able to walk away and be like, does she actually maybe indeed return these feelings? He's questioning himself throughout this whole entire chapter, like, can it be me? Can it be me? Kazuya, yes, it can be you. I'm so happy. We've come such a long way to see Chizuru now being assertive. And I need to make a video on this, but I've said before during the early parts of my other reactions, my only regret with everything happening is that I really wish the Hawaiians arc never happened in retrospect. Because if I think back almost a year ago, these chapters would be perfect. But it feels almost a little bit ruined because of all the craziness in the Paradise arc. But nonetheless, we're here. And I'm loving the progression that we're getting out of Chizuru and Kazuya finally over the last several chapters. It's been amazing. So with that, I'm going to end this one here. Everyone, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Like the video, like the video, subscribe to like my content. It is greatly appreciated as always. And with that, I'll see you guys next week. I'm Leonard and I'm out. Take care everybody and have a good one. We out.